Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Sunday service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northfield. My name is Barbara Krause, and my husband Paul and I have been members here for 6.5 years. UUFN is an inclusive community that nurtures spiritual and intellectual growth and fosters ethical and social responsibility. I want to extend a warm welcome to everyone here in the sanctuary and all those gathered online today. We are mindful that we gather today with different needs. Whatever brings you here, you are invited to come as you are and take what feeds you. If you are a visitor, either in person or online, we are glad that you are with us, and we invite you to stay after the service to get acquainted. We welcome your questions and look forward to getting to know you. After the service, newcomers are invited to join Brenda McCoy for a short meeting during the coffee hour at the front of the sanctuary. Brenda, you want to raise your hand so they know who? Stand up. Thank you. All right. Next Sunday, join us for Liberating Love with Reverend Sarah Smalley. The farther we travel along the path of love, the more twists and turns we face. Love is far more complex than just being Minnesota nice. In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., what is needed is a realization that power without love is reckless and abusive, and that love without power is sentimental and anemic. Join Reverend Sarah and Worship Associate Augustus Lean for this service about complex, liberating love. I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. Lane, thank you. Augustus Lane. Again, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northfield.
Or but you put me right. My judgment burned in the black of night. When I give less than I take, it is my fault, my own mistake. We will run and scream, you will dance with me, we'll fulfill our dreams and we'll be free. We will be who we are, and they'll heal our scars. Sadness will be far away. Do not let my fickle flesh go to waste, as it keeps my heart and soul within its place. And I will love with urgency and not with haste.
Thank you. The opening words are a heartbeat that I have written. Get ready. Another perspective on love is at hand. This is not romantic love, rather the knowing of an expandable heart that holds all things, positive and not so positive, subtle and harsh, and whimsical and practical. Heart, this is for you. Listen deeply to others and care about their spiritual growth. Start by encouraging positives, ignoring judgments, finding laughter, and soothing tears. Experience an understanding beyond ego. The flaming chalice is a symbol of Unitarian Universalism. Each Sunday when we gather, we bring this symbol to life together. Its flame illumines the moment, calling our attention to the path of hope and justice. Please join me in speaking the words in your order of service and on the screens as we light the chalice, the symbol of our faith. Let us open our eyes to see what is beautiful. Let us open our minds to learn what is true. Let us open our hearts to love one another. Please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, 1008 in the Teal hymnal, entitled, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. On the 19th, Reverend Sarah will preach on a wider, liberating love, on love as a force for liberation. Susie and Wyman Weinbeck will lead worship the following week with a service that recognizes that the study of love does not always have to be serious. We'll end the month with their service entitled Sharing Love Through Humor. We'll live, love, and laugh together through this month. Love is our source and our destination, our call and our response, says the Reverend Dr. Rebecca Ann Parker. On this path of love, love is our source and our destination. We now move into the time of our centering. We pause in this moment to come more fully into each other's presence and into the presence of the greater love that lives within each of us and among us. Allow yourself an unhurried, unclenched breath. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Relax your shoulders and let your heart catch up with you. What is on your heart today? Welcome it and honor it. All of who you are is welcome here. Whatever you are holding, you are not holding it alone. This sacred space we create together is strong enough to hold it all. In the presence of this greater love, we use our chalice flame to light our candles of community. We light our first candle as a blessing for the wider world. Today we call to mind and celebrate the creativity, resilience, and brilliance throughout Black history during this Black History Month. We know too that the details of our daily lives are sacred and important. We now light a candle for all the simple joys that are sustaining us. And we light another candle in honor of the sorrows and hardships that we might be carrying. Candle in honor of the joys and sorrows we carry in our hearts, but that have not been spoken aloud. And we move into a time of silence. May the truth of your heart be reflected in these flames. Hear these words from Rumi. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kiss the ground. And now we will sing Spirit of Life. Please remain seated. We will now give and receive an offering for the support of this religious community and its work in the world. This month's Share the Plate recipient is BLUU, Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism. As a national ministry for and by Black identified Unitarian Universalists, Black Lives UU is one of the most exciting and visionary movements within our denomination. BLUU is committed to expanding the power and capacity of Black UUs within Unitarian Universalism, providing support, information, and resources for Black Unitarian Universalists, and justice-making and liberation for Black people through our faith. You may contribute by placing your offering in the basket as it is passed. Please make checks payable to UUFN with offering basket or pledge on the memo line. Or you may contribute online by going to our website, uunorthfield.org, clicking on the yellow donate button on the right-hand column, and then selecting Share the Plate. You are invited to give generously and joyfully as you are willing and able. In this spirit, we now gratefully accept the offering. Beautiful, thank you. Paul has asked me to introduce his message with this heartbeat. It is entitled, All at Once, Love is There. Love appears within spaces, unfolding thoughts, connecting words, linking images, mixing sounds. Individual talents tempered by perspective, experiences, and desire. On-demand vanishes, only appreciation for the moment. Space to be, muses of inspiration, revelry in ideas. Fresh appeal to senses, associations, imagination, all at once, love is there. Often fleeting, love asks for intention and at times endurance. When the portal is open, all is possible. A conduit, the artist speaks from the heart. Source flows through form, and angels move mountains. A lotus debut, we are in awe. Such beauty. We soften to love, a seed fully nurtured and appreciated. Beckoning us, it brings surprises and welcomed bonding. A deep knowing is fulfilled. Reaching new heights, we whisper gratitude. If we had only known. Source nods.
Welcome. This is such a treat to be here today. My presentation is the second of 3 presentations that I hope to make over time. The first one, if you recall, well, they're based, first of all, on the chalice lighting statements, which you have already spoken. Let us open our eyes to see what is beautiful. Let us open our minds to learn what is true. And let us open our hearts to love one another. Now, last year, if you recall, and I'm sure many of you do, I explored the first statement about opening our eyes to see what is beautiful. My method that I propose was quite simple. I call it sidewalking. Choose a sidewalk, walk it. Pause occasionally and look at a flower. Watch a little insect move along a leaf. See something for the first time, even though you've walked that sidewalk 100, well, maybe 1,000 times. Every time, look for something a little different. And that little difference, as it turns out, and this is quite remarkable, somewhat of a, as I say, an awakening occurs. You go, well, my goodness, look at you, you little devil. Wow, aren't you the cutest thing? And it's, as you accumulate these little moments, these little awakenings, you begin to understand that all of these tiny moments are beautiful. It is the beautiful. It creates a sense, small awe. I mean, if you're standing in the Grand Canyon, I know many people say, oh, you know, you're standing, and it's just so massive and so incredible. You just say, the breath is taken away, and it's awe. And then, is it the vagus nerve? Vagus nerve is, I heard this on National Public Radio, so believe me, it must be true. The vagus nerve is excited and your whole body relaxes and inflammation is reduced and you experience a sense of peace. And all you have to do is walk on your sidewalk. Okay. So mindfulness plus a little bit of movement can create an awakening to beauty. I refer you to YouTube in one of our previous recordings if you'd like to learn more. Today, in the spirit of this month's theme, I'd like to move on to the third statement. Let us open our hearts to love one another. And I'd like to focus on the word love. Love, and ask 3 questions. These 3 things for you to ponder. What exactly does it mean to love someone? What exactly does it mean? How can we say to others, I love you? I love you, and do so, for hopefully, in a mutually understood and appreciated way. I mean, it's a little difficult sometimes. You go to the Mall of America and start saying to people, I love you, and they're going to go, where's the gendarme? In this community, in this room, it's a whole lot easier, I would hope, to go up to someone and say, Lee, I love you. Well, it's true, and Mary Dore too. And I mean, I love you all. Okay, I can say that. And I hope that I'm not misunderstood. And I hope there's a slight sense of appreciation for my affection for you. And you don't have to say back, oh, well, Paul, I love you too. You don't have to. Well, oh, yeah. Thank you, Steph. Steph will say, oh, yes, he will. So and then my third question is, how can we love another fully? How might we put our heart and soul into it? It's one thing to love, but then we want to insert energy. As Barbara says, we are a conduit for source. We're the way in which source takes form, and we want to use that power through love to make a difference in the world. Now, there are many wise and thoughtful people who have tried to answer these questions. I will focus on one author. I came across a book by M. Scott Peck, and I'm sure you may have heard of it, The Road Less Traveled. Okay? It's back in the late 70s, I believe it was published. The subtitle is A New Psychology of Love, Traditional Values, and Spiritual Growth. And it is a marvelous treatise. And love is defined on one page in 2 lines, which I love his way he brought it all together. And he defines love, the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. The will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing your own or another's spiritual growth. In application, he says, this requires true listening. I also use the term deep listening, empathetic listening. It's the kind of listening that requires you to give up your prejudices, frames of references and desires, and experience the world from the speaker's world, who you're talking to, from the inside, stepping into that person's shoes, from the inside. So there's 2 elements then. Spiritual growth for yourself and for the other, and then listening very carefully. Now, recently I have had the great pleasure of listening to you for several hours. And I'd like to say, I took the attitude of deep, empathetic listening. I didn't make any comments, I just listened, and you spoke, and you told me what your values and your visions were for this place. And I felt the love for this community in what you said. So that was, to me, a perfect example of communal coming together. We'll say more about that in a little while. Interestingly enough, if you look at the 3rd UU principle, while we still have it, the 3rd UU principle says, accept one another and encourage spiritual growth. Oh, well, are we on solid ground or what? Acceptance requires understanding, stepping into another's shoes. So we're right. This is why we have, of course, on the side of the building, side with love. And that's why love is at the center of the new way of looking at the UU experience. It's always been there and always will. But accepting one another and encouraging spiritual growth. Now, I have a particular example. I was having lunch with a very good friend, not a member of this community, and I've known him for many, many years. And I love this man. I'm interested in his spiritual growth. We talk about spiritual growth a lot and on many different levels. And I do listen to him as carefully as I can. And one day we were having lunch and I said, I'd like to be able to just say, I love you. Now, for men to say they love each other, it's like, I love you, bro. It's, we got to be careful here. Because again, being misunderstood and not appreciated, you have to be a little sense. The one alternative that I did notice recently in the great Minnesota Viking escapade, after each win, the coach would get together with the team, the new coach, brand new. And near one of the latter, I mean, he always said, I love you. I love you guys. I love you. And you know, it was so heartfelt and so, I mean, occasionally he would cry. I mean, he would move to tears, and they would be just all, there was so much love you bro stuff that you could not believe. Every time they come off the field, love you bro, love you. You know, but it was heartfelt. You know, you knew that it was deep. It was deep because they were together. They were engaged in a common purpose. Anyway, after we talked and I explained to him what I learned from Scott Peck, he said, yeah, well, of course. I love you too. And it was just a really tender and sweet moment in a relationship. Everyone should discover their Anamkara. That's Celtic for soul friend. Soul friend. What was the author again? John O'Donohue. Oh, bless that man. Read the book Anamkara, and it will just change your life. Because he talks about what it means to be a soul friend. Sweet. So, I hope we're on this basis. I hope we're understanding each other. I feel very close to you people, and particularly to my lovely wife, of course, who's just amazing, and who I'd like to sing this song for, because I'm pretty sure I wrote this song for you. So, you know, this is a really good thing to do if you're a husband. It's a really good thing to do, just to write a song for your wife. I've wrote several, so, you know. This was actually for our marriage. I know. It was inspired by, there was a poem on a door at a previous place that we had been going to church. And it was to love someone. And and I just wrote new words. So I'm going to sing that for you. I'm going to give it my best attempt here. All right, let's see how this goes. To love someone, learn the song deep within their heart. Then sing it back to them if lost and in the dark. If they don't trust themselves or see how good they are, sing them their special song. Tell them who they are. To love someone, catch the dream burning in their soul, then hand it back to them when they're tired and feeling old. If they say there's no more time to be who they should be, break the chains of doubt, set their old dreams free. Yes, to love someone, read the lines deep down in their palm. See that their future holds their light, their dreams, their songs. Tell them that they are loved if lost and feeling down. Give them the gift of love that turns a life around. It turns a life around. It turns a life around. You're much too generous. Okay. I'll turn this off there. Okay, part 2. There are 3 parts. There must always be 3 parts to a presentation. Is that what they tell you in presentation school? You must have 3 parts, and then you must repeat everything. Anyway, so this part 2 is giving yourself to love, opening your heart. In this part, I ask 2 questions. How can we give ourselves to love? How can we give ourselves to love and open our hearts? How do we create a community of loved ones, a circle of love? Now, I think almost all of us, if we have families, we understand familial love, and we understand that in the context of being with family, it's real easy to say, I love you, and to give people deep hugs, and to listen carefully, even when they're only 4 years old and they're trying to destroy your house. Which, of course, was happening yesterday when Stella arrived. Stella is a force to be reckoned with. I love her dearly. I love that girl. I just can't trust her. So ideally, we move into relationships where we love and can trust that you won't break something. Oh my goodness, I love this. She is just, okay, sparkly. So we know that we experience communities. All of us experience communities from time to time and place to place. Some we're feeling closer. But I think by being present for each other, to me, is really the first step, to be present. And of course, it's easier when you're present to listen carefully and to ask questions about spiritual growth. In a community of like-minded and loving people who can turn to each other, simply say, yes, I love you. I don't know about you, but after 3 years of pandemic, that has damaged us in major and subtle ways, just being present as you are today is an expression of an open heart. You have opened your heart by being here with each other. I deeply feel that, and have been, to me, this is what I have been searching for 3 years, is to be with you this moment. So look at each other. I got a great view from up here. Look at each other. Feel the presence of the person next to you. Feel the presence of the person in front of you and behind you. Look at, these are lovely faces. We've got a particularly handsome group of people. So, revel in that. Ask them about their spiritual growth and truly listen to them. Okay, I'm going to invite some of my special people, my special loves, to come forward, members of the choir. Those of us who sing together, now the singing together is an extension of presence. It really is, because we've joined our voices, and the combination is exquisite. So I'm going to ask them to come, and we're going to sing a song together. I'm going to do the verse, and they're going to sing the chorus with me. Okay. Now, really, seriously, have you ever seen a more handsome group of people? They really are exceptionally good. Okay, this is a lovely song. Actually, was recommended by Mary Dorr. Thank you, Mary. Kate, what's her last name? Yes, Kate. Anyway, give yourself to love. It goes like this. Kind friends all gathered round, there's something I would say. What brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family, loneliness can't hide. So give yourself to love. If love is what you're after, open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Well, I've walked these mountains in the rain. I've learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise just to watch the day begin. Always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. But like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Well, love is born in fire, and it's planted like a seed. Well, love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. And love comes when you're ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It'll be your greatest teacher, the best friend that you have made. So give yourself to love, yes, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. One more time. Give yourself to love, yes, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, part 3. Very short. You're looking at it. My goodness, how this man goes on and on. I don't understand. Isn't there someone with a hook? Why not? I've still got burns from being hooked. Okay. Thank you, Steph. Part 3 is love as a bridge between hearts and minds. Okay, we need to connect this with this. Not necessarily, but it's good sometimes to think about what you're feeling in your heart. How can love be used as a tool for social justice and reconciliation? Because I think as UUers, that's where we stand. We stand with love, with the understanding that it's a vehicle, it's a way of connecting with others in the world who maybe just don't see things quite the way we do. But if they feel and think with deep love, careful listening, concern for spiritual growth, I think we can connect with others who don't see the world quite the way we do in this room today. I think an example of this, and I think this is what's in our future, is opening our doors more, inviting others in more regularly, welcoming them and encouraging their growth. And that's all I'm going to say. We're going to sing one more song, and you're going to join us on the chorus. It should be in your bulletin. Love can build a bridge. All right. Sure I'm on. I think I'm. Can you still hear me? Yes, you can. Good. Well, as long as you can. That's right. I gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet, to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I would swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams. When all your hopes are sinking, let me show you what life means. Love can build a bridge, oh yes, between your heart and
every heart would understand. But love, and only love, can join the tribes of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first step is to realize that it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? One more time together now. Love can build a bridge, oh yeah, between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Thank you, choir. That was too sweet, too sweet.
Let us rise in body and spirit and sing together in number 86, Blessed Spirit. Let Taylor get seated. Blessed Spirit of my life. Blessed Spirit of my life.
Let's rise in body or spirit. Okay, so maybe we're in a different religion, I'm not quite sure, but anyway, here we go. Let us rise in body or spirit and sing together. No, that's not the right cue, is it? All right, here we go. The closing words. Yes. Whatever you'd like. Stand up, sit down. No, okay. The closing words. For our benediction, these words are from James A. Hobart. As we depart one from another, let our hearts be secure through every human season. Let our hearts be secure in seasons of anguish, as in seasons of joy, in seasons of failure, and in seasons of success, in seasons of uncertainty, as in seasons of security. Let our hearts be secure in this dual reality. We are worthy recipients of love, and support we can never, ever earn. And we are worthy providers of love and support that others cannot earn. Let our hearts be secure, for hearts know and understand and will respond when invited in. Amen and blessed be. We extinguish this flame. I'm sorry, please join me in the words. I tell you, that sing-along just got me going here. All right. Please join me in the words for extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Now, you have risen. All right, you're in body and spirit with us, so with your hands over your heart or holding hands of someone next to you, we will sing twice. We will sing twice words of blessing one to another. May the longtime son. May the longtime sun shine on you. All love surround you. Your light has within you. Guide your way home. Longtime sun shine on you. All love surround you. Your light has within you. Guide your way home. All right. Go in peace. And thank you.